Okay, I think I'm live right now. It's not entirely easy to tell. I hate that they took away Google Hangouts, and it makes it like a million times more difficult to actually go and start a stream. I had to download all this different software and figure out how to use all of it. Why did you take away Google Hangouts, Google? This is very, very frustrating. Anyway, regardless, we're on air right now, and hopefully you don't hear any echoes. Entirely easy to tell. I hate that they took away. Yeah, so people are on the stream, I think, and of course the title is all wrong and everything else. But there are people on there, and it looks like things are working. So yay, it's working. All right, so and this just I don't know how many people are watching. I guess it's like 15, 16 people, something like that. Anyway, I want to show my book at the beginning and at the end. This is the Little Bitcoin book that I wrote with 7 other co-authors, and we wrote it in a week in California. Really fun little book. It's a quick read. The main book is something like 75 pages, and then you have like a Q&A section that's another 30 pages or so. A lot of illustrations in there, so it's not really that much of a read. It's perfect for your no-coiner friends. The idea is to make Bitcoin really accessible. That's why we wrote this book. Would love to do some sort of contest or something to sign some of these and get them out to people. Anyway, I will be promoting this for a while. I just want you guys to know that it's coming. I've already written an article on like what that process was like and so on. Anyway, let's hope that I'm getting this right. Let's see. I want to make sure that I am doing this. So let's see. How do I do the other thing? Here's the desktop. Okay, hopefully you can see what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you guys can see everything. It looks like the video is coming in a little bit. Yeah, it's coming in a little weird, but I guess we'll see what's going on after. Anyway, here is Bitcoin Tech Talk. I don't know if you can see it. I think there's like a 20-second delay, so I have to like wait, and it's like hard to figure out. Oh gosh, why is this stuff so complicated? All right, here it is. Bitcoin Tech Talk, issue number 150, and it is from yesterday. I did want to wait for the book launch to be able to talk about this stuff. Anyway, it's explaining, there's a bunch of stuff in here that I think is very interesting. Let's start with this one, and this is from Jeremy Rubin, who's a core dev, and obviously has a Bech32 address here. But this is a project to annotate the original Satoshi's Bitcoin code base. So took the original thing that was released like in January, something like that, and looking at the README text, this is what the original README text looked like. It's a copyright Satoshi Nakamoto, distributed under the MIT license, and you need these compilers in order to read this stuff. Bitcoin does not use any encryption. If you want to do know everything build of OpenSSL, a few patches are required, etc. Anyway, I believe the very first one actually had to run on Windows. That's why it looks the way it does. But there's some annotation I think in here. Why base 58 instead of standard base 64? And this is something that I teach. It's because if you take base 64 and take out essentially 0, capital O, capital I, and the number 1, the lowercase l, and then like the dash and underscore, which tend to be the other 2 characters of base 64, you get that. So that's at least commented a little bit here. But yeah, I think Jeremy is planning to comment on all of these and talk about what the drawbacks are, or what the whole idea of this code base was. And gonna be frank here. Some of it wasn't written that well, and it wasn't modularized very well. It's taken the core devs quite a bit of time to modularize this. You can tell it's actually not that many files here, but that's because some of it is just like absolutely enormous. So I look forward to updates on this project, Jeremy. Really looking forward to how that'll work. All right, so why hardware wallets suck, and and this is a conversation between Steven Livera and Michael Flaxman. Flax is a good friend of mine, and they talked all about the various ways in which different hardware wallets suck. And this is the transcript right here, and you can read through and figure out for yourself if your solution is good enough. I mean the main thing here is that Michael is trying to bring more, trying to get the hardware manufacturers to step up their game, especially with respect to multi-sig. So very good podcast or transcript to read if you want. GUIX PR. So this is an interesting project by Carl Dong from Chaincode Labs, and he got this merged in. But it's a really good description of what he's trying to do. Basically, the entire build chain for Linux has to be like taken with some suspicion and made sure to fit in and not have any security vulnerabilities. He gave a really good presentation at Breaking Bitcoin earlier this year about all the vulnerabilities that you get in your tool chain, and to make sure that there aren't vulnerabilities, you have to use a particular method of building things, and that's what this is all about. Really cool presentation if you want to take a look at it as well. All right, let's see. Bitcoin does not waste energy. This is from Parker Lewis. From Unchained Capital. He's had this really interesting series on like just Bitcoin and the various things that people say about it. And this is it's a very good good article about energy usage and things like that. Really cool graphs, and I mean it's a quick read. I don't think it's gonna be it's a good series. It's worthwhile reading. All right, and finally, Bitcoin's advantage over gold. This is from the Bitcoin Observer, and this is like part 3 of a fairly long a 3-part series at least, but it's talking about why Bitcoin has an advantage over gold. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but please take a look as a matter of course. All right, let's see. Lightning, there's a few things that are coming up in Lightning that are interesting. This is the entire concept of Lightning service providers, and this is published by Breeze, who makes a really interesting wallet. I don't know if you've used it, but they provide inbound liquidity, which in of itself is interesting. I hadn't seen that before. But that definitely provides a lot more liquidity, which I hope other people do. But the idea is of a Lightning service provider that makes onboarding directly from fiat possible. And right now with Lightning, you need Bitcoin first, so you need to go grab Bitcoin from fiat, then transfer it over into a Lightning wallet, then set up channels and all this other stuff. It's kind of a nightmare from a UX perspective. So this is their proposal, is to have something like a Lightning service provider, somebody that's kind of like an ISP that sets up everything for you. You don't right now go out and connect your like get a separate modem and connect that to some fiber and all this other stuff. That's not what you do. An ISP does all of that for you, and that's sort of the idea behind an LSP, a Lightning service provider, as Breeze envisions. And I think it's a good idea. Hopefully, more Lightning service providers end up happening. All right, this is from Brian Vu of Lightning Labs, Node Operator's Guide to Lightning Galaxy. So this is it's essentially a way to to do some routing. If you are a routing node, and there is some money to be made as a routing node because you can charge satoshis for every transaction that goes through and whatever. This is a whole how to as far as how to create a routing node that makes sense and so on. And it's Brian's a very smart guy. And Lightning Labs is obviously doing really good stuff. Great guide to read through if you do want to be a routing node. Still, we need more wallets and stuff, but routing tends to be a big problem in general. So, getting more nodes up that route to different places and have capacity both ways is a big part of making Lightning useful. So this is a part one of a longer series, hopefully. So that's let's see if this keeps going. All right, Lightning Node launcher experience. This is from Circle, and they basically took Pierre Rochard's Lightning Power Users Node Launcher and set up their Lightning node using that, and this is sort of their review of it. I thought it was pretty interesting. If you have like an experience, setting up a Lightning node and so on, this is a good way to do it. Anyway, last story here is of the Coinbase data leak. They did have something good with the Firefox 0 days that they discovered, but here's another thing that they weren't so good at, which is they had a password storage issue affecting like 3,500 customers. Good on them for coming clean, but bad on them for having this vulnerability in the first place. A lot of these accounts might be worth a lot of money, so you got to be fairly careful with this stuff. Hopefully they up their game and increase their security as a result. All right, so I do want to have the, let's see, I want to show you guys that at least right now, my book is number 64, but let's see, where is the Little Bitcoin book? Is it in the top 50? It might be in the top 50 right now. I was gonna show that. The Little Bitcoin book is number 43 right now, and this is the Kindle edition. You can get it for 99 cents if you buy the paperback. Otherwise, it's like $3.88 for the Kindle edition. The paperback's $8.88. It has one current review. I would love to get more reviews. You can see all of the authors. Actually, I think Lily's missing on this one. But anyway, this is what we worked on for 4 days in California and got it done. We're really happy with the book. I would love for you guys to review it. And if you're really interested, I can hook you up. All right, so let's take a look at some of the questions. I am always interested in questions. Let's go back to the main camera there, and you guys can see me. It's not entirely clear what part of the screen I need to be in. I think I need. All right, so I think that will pretty much do it. Okay, great. Let's see what is working on. All right. What questions people have, if any. Number go up, Bitcoin Tech Talk, Orange Coin Good, number go up, yes. How do you recommend storing Bitcoin if not a hardware wallet? I think multi-sig is the way to go because it's not a single point of failure. And if you have multi-sig, they need to compromise at least a couple of those in order to take it. And if you do some sort of key rotation or something like that every once in a while, should be pretty good. Casa has some sort of solution. There's Unchained Capital has a solution. There's multiple more interesting ways to go about it that's now coming out. I think Unchained Capital, for example, they make you like do a video chat with them before they'll sign anything, so they can confirm it's like physically you and so on. There's no it's almost like a person-to-person meeting and so on. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the great questions. How do you get really good security on this stuff? And it's not entirely clear. We'll hopefully get something like that pretty soon. Wow. Oh, so that's what it was. Okay. So let me see here. All right, so that's, I think, better. I don't know. All right. All right, so hopefully that fills up a better part of my screen and so on. All right, let's see what other questions we have. Gotta pump those numbers up, yeah. What's will follow if you don't stock to flow? No stock to flow. Reality always wins. Launcher good, amazing. Look, book Jimmy halfway through. Review incoming. Okay, yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, the book is meant to be more for, I guess for the lack of a better word, normies, right? No coiners, people that don't have anything, have any Bitcoin, and want to learn more about it. And that's what we got with this book. So, we've obviously put some effort into it. Hopefully, you had time to do that. Jimmy, have you had time to go through Peter's manuscript? I did take a look at it. It's been in the works for a while, and I think I've had multiple stories on this channel about manuscript. But yeah, it's a lot more concise, and it's easier to prove and so on. And each thing makes it like easier to express things, and you don't have to create it from scratch. So I'm very, very happy about that. I look forward to like digging into it more as I play more with this stuff. What do you think Lightning capacity stalled in the last few months? I don't know. Good question. Probably not enough products to buy or something like that. I mean, it's not like people want to spend Bitcoin that much, right? Like it's a great asset to be holding, and there's a tendency to want to shoot yourself after realizing that you spent something that's gone up in value. So I mean, it's something that we're going to need. So it needs testing right now, and it needs use right now. But it's always sort of the dilemma. You want to always hold Bitcoin. So that I suppose that's part of it. Any idea on Schnorr? I mean, it's coming as part of SegWit V1. Taproot, Schnorr, and so on. When that'll be ready, when that'll be reviewed, I don't know. It's a decentralized protocol. There's no central party dictating exactly when it's going to come out. So, sorry. How do you feel about non-custodial wallets? Depends what you mean. Well, I mean, generally non-custodial wallets are pretty good, meaning that nobody has custody of your stuff. Well, actually, not sure what you mean. So let me define a couple things. A custodial wallet is when somebody else has custody of your coins. A non-custodial wallet is when you have custody, something like that. At least that's how I define it. I generally don't like it when somebody else has your coins, and that's that's because of the sordid history of Bitcoin exchanges getting hacked and so on. So you got to be very careful about that. But if you have your own coins, that's a lot better. Something even better than that is some sort of combination where some third party can help you out if you lose one of your key, one of multiple of your keys, but at the same time not really. Schnorr is going to help a lot in that regard, because right now there's a penalty essentially that you pay when you're doing multi-sig, but with Schnorr it'll be a lot better because you have the ability to not get penalized or have to pay more in order to use multi-sig, and that's one of the speculations that's coming up. Do you have any opinions on using CTAP implementation for... I don't know what CTAP is, so sorry, I can't answer that question. Any plans for translations of the book? Yes, we definitely want to translate the Little Bitcoin book into as many languages as possible. There's a whole chapter on Bitcoin and human rights and why it matters so much in in countries that are suffering from hyperinflation and so on. There's a bunch of stories about people from Venezuela, Nigeria, and so on, and they're the ones that really need to read it. And our hope is that we can get some really good translations. If you are a very good translator, I would love to hear from you, and so would the rest of the team. Tag like at Little Bitcoin BK on Twitter, and we'll get back to you. And yeah. I mean, even if it's just to review and make sure that it reads well, etc. Did you expect a crazy price rise in 2019? Well, I mean, I kind of expected it to have a longer bear market so that the ICOs could all wash out, but I don't know. It's kind of washing out, and the Bitcoin price is rising, which is kind of the best of both worlds, at least as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. It's I can't say that I expected it, but I'm glad that it happened. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Yep, absolutely. All right, so I do want to do more of these shows, and I want to do like live read-throughs of white papers and so on. I've been on vacation. It's good to be back. It's the first time I've done a live stream, at least on my own channel, in a while. I apologize for having had that gap. It was because I was spending time with my family and writing this book and so on. But yeah, I have other projects in the works. I have a lot of different things I want to do. I want to make sure that the Bitcoin developer ecosystem has everything that it needs to in order to create better wallets, better security, better capability of holding everything. And I'm glad that you guys are so supportive of what's being done. One other thing. Okay, well, anyway, thank you so much. Once again, the book is the Little Bitcoin book, and of course, my previous book is Programming Bitcoin from O'Reilly. I would love to hear from you guys and about what this is all like. So yeah, thank you, and this song is done.